This will be a very short video. People want to know, is the concept of shipping container sweat real? I'm here to show you that it is. So here's a car that's being stored in a shipping container. And it may not be easy to see, but there's drops of water everywhere on this thin sheet of plastic. The plastic is here to protect the surface of this Camaro from water, which, let's see if we can see any. Oh, there's water there, there's water there, there's water there, there's water there, there's water there. So this, oh geez, the water just came down. That's called shipping container sweat. And people say, where the hell does this water come from? What it is the air in this container probably entered slowly over time and was full of moisture, humidity, whatever you want to call it. And as the temperature outside drops, this water condenses on what was previously a warm surface, which is now cold. Because realize it's getting down into the 30 degrees here. So this water, which is generally being held by very warm, moist air, cold air doesn't hold water. So the water condenses, precipitates on the ceiling, which is container sweat, drops down on the items in the container, which happens to be this car. Well, since I believe in it, I covered up the car with this very thin painter's plastic. It's like 2 mils or 2/10 of a mil. It's really light, wimpy stuff. The idea being that whatever water hits this surface, if it has minerals or not, does not deposit the minerals onto the delicate paint surface. That's container sweat. And you can see that the whole car, well, it's a little hard to tell, the whole car is covered up with the object of protecting anything in here that would not like water, which is precipitated, condensed on this metal roof, dropping down onto the painted surface. Although that's probably pretty clean water, there would be some minerals in it. And since this car will be sitting in this shipping container for 6-7 months, you don't want the water, which is going to evaporate. Realize that in the Midwest, Wisconsin, the air will get dry, it will get cold, and this water, because cold air, it will eventually evaporate and leave potentially some residue on the paint. So when people say to you, God, is there such a thing as container sweat? You can say, oh yeah, there's such a thing as container sweat. So I didn't see any videos anywhere that talked about container sweat. None of them provided any evidence of container sweat. You notice that the vertical walls have no water, which makes sense. If there is any water, it's going to drain down. It doesn't leave anything. It's just the surface, the ceiling, which causes this rain or container sweat to come down on what's ever in the container. Now, it's not a lot of water. It's not like we're looking at a flood here. You know, Noah, don't get your ark. But the point is that if you're storing something you like in a shipping container because it's in for the winter, and obviously this Camaro has been readied, you know, oil's been changed, fluid's been changed, it's now stored. And by the way, the fuel is non-alcohol based. I have to go outside the county in Milwaukee to get the fuel, but you don't want a lot of alcohol in your fuel as well because it absorbs water, and that's not a good thing for a car that's being stored. So I hope you enjoyed the container sweat tour. Obviously, this doesn't happen in Phoenix, Arizona, because there's no moisture in the air in Phoenix, and it may not happen up north in Canada, but I can tell you in the Midwest, when a car is placed into a container like this, when it's still 70 degrees outside, a lot of humidity in the air, a lot of moisture, that when it drops down to 30 degrees, as it's been getting at night, the water condenses, it rains down on the surface. Now, in a couple of months, all this water is going to be gone. But if you didn't know about container sweat and you weren't watching this video, you'd go, why do I have all this funky residue on the top of my car? Well, this is all water, which has come from the ceiling, and it's all container sweat. That's why you'd have any rings of calcium or metals sitting on your delicate painted surface. So You should cover up your vehicles or anything you value in the Midwest if you store it there in the fall, so that the water, container sweat, doesn't destroy it. Now these are little residues. That's some water. There's a little drop of water there. These are flooring. It's called LifeProof. These can tolerate itty bits of water. They're in a box. They're protected. They're going to be installed in the house in the next month or so. That's cool. This is a plastic container. It doesn't care if there's water on it. So all in all, it doesn't matter. But if you're storing a car or something you really value, be wary of container sweat. It's real, it exists. You gotta protect your stuff. So have a wonderful day. It's, I think, about 50 degrees right now, 45. It's gonna be colder and colder. Tonight it's gonna be below freezing, which means a lot of container sweat. Take care, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.